Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Saturday Special Comments. Today we'll talk about dark web. This concept of dark web is vastly not known. What is dark web? This is that part of internet which we normally think is a web linked to the terrorists, drug deals, knife sales, gun sales, illegal gun sales, child pornography, and all the dark aspects of life. Just imagine that you are in a lush, dark forest, and whole internet is a forest. As long as you can see it's pervading green, but there are paths. And some of the paths you know, and there's some of the paths you don't know. The paths in the jungle of internet which you know are which you can traverse, which you can travel by using search engines like Google, Yahoo, or anyone on Bing, and there are hundreds of them. But away from these paths, away from the search engines, the trees obstruct your view. You cannot see beyond them. And that part where you cannot go with the help of search engines is the dark web. It's impossible to find anything unless you know what you're looking for. It feels like a treasure hunt because the only way to find anything in this vast dark web is to be told where to live. If you don't have Google, if you don't have Bing, if you don't have Yahoo, you will not know where to go. So essentially, the places hidden on the internet are known only to those who know how to create a path in that jungle is dark web. And just like the forest, dark web hides things well. It hides actions and it hides identities. It prevents more people from knowing who you are, what you're doing, and where you're doing. It's not surprising that dark web is more often than not used for illegal activity because police cannot go there. They don't have the means of creating a path to go there, and hence the dark web is a good camouflage for all illegal activities ranging from human trafficking to illegal guns and terrorist attacks, drug deals, narcotics, name and it's there. You would say that why? Why is it so difficult to penetrate the dark web? As I said, it's only a matter of knowing the way. Because the search engines help you create the way, create a path, create a road. You can traverse on those roads, you can take a journey on those roads easily. But you cannot drive in a dark forest. You have to walk, you have to understand the layer. And the dark web technologies are robustly built without central point of weakness, making it impossible for the authorities to infiltrate. Hackers can do it, they still do it. Another issue for the legal authorities is that most things, the dark web and its technologies can be used for good and for evil, both. Now, there is a technology called Tor, T-O-R. It's a free software available everywhere. Help you defend against traffic analysis. It's a good one. But it can also be used to detect the presence of police a bit ahead of you so that you can escape the dragnet of police. And of all the shocking things is, the biggest shock, that most of the dark web is funded by the governments. especially the Western governments, including US, they have funded the dark web. Does it mean they want to encourage illegal activities? I can't say. I cannot make a comment on that. But one thing is sure, that with this funding, they create those areas which you cannot penetrate and even police cannot penetrate. Theoretically, the only way to intercept communication is to be sent via something like Tor, is to install a backdoor in the application everyone uses. And what's the backdoor? Backdoor is a secret way in the application protection system. It's just like that, you know. You go out for a walk in the home and hide the key below the mat in your back door, because you think that the robbers are not going to come there. But robbers, if they're intelligent, know that you have tried to cheat them, mislead them, and that's what they do. They'll go there. That's, you know, people who hide their keys in the flower pots of the garden, in case they get locked out of the house, they even forget where they hid it. But the thief, when he comes over there, will have no problem. Now, the use of the back door could allow any government, even oppressive ones, to intercept communications. Cyber breaches and hacks have shown us that any weakness or backdoor can be found and exploited by hackers to steal people's information, pictures, and data. And all this noise that is being created nowadays about the Russians having infiltrated Democratic Party and Republican Party and part of the electoral system shows the presence of the dark web. Now what happens? The people who indulge in nefarious and underhand activities exploit the darkness. It's simple as that. You are going out in the night, in darkness, and you are an easy victim for all the thieves and the murderers and the robbers. They may not attack you in the day's light. They may not attack you when it is lighted environment. But in case it's dark, in case it's pitch dark, you are an easy prey. Most of the rapes, most of the dacoities, most of the robberies are committed in the darkness. And that is why this dark web is exploited by antisocial elements. You know, one thing is strange, that the criminals always find ways to communicate with each other, even in the darkness. Mobile phones have been used by the criminal gangs to organize themselves for a long time, that's known. And as a society, we are comfortable with laws enabling police to tap telephones and catch criminals. Unfortunately, infiltrating the dark web is not quite easy as tapping the local telephone exchange system or a phone network, because the dark web is quite unlike the telephone system. It has no fixed exchange, it has no tower, and it is operated by a small set of companies which are very mobile, keep on shifting, making interceptions much difficult. Even if tapping the dark web was an easy exercise, morally is fraught with quite a number of questions. Some laws have been passed in some countries, which is horrible. Basically, what they are trying is to catch you. The laws passed in England, for example, what we see after the Snowden impact, it is called the Law of Enforcement over Communication Systems, Investigatory Powers Bill. That people, when the bill was passed, objected to the law. They are not comfortable with mass unwarranted surveillance. The right to privacy has become so powerful in us that we do not want anybody to supervise us and know about us. And that enables the dark web to survive, and not only survive, but to thrive. You remember that there was a San Bernardino mass murder case in USA. Now, US police authorities and FBI wanted to unlock the iPhone of the well-known, well-established terrorist, and Apple would not do it. Ultimately, FBI had to go to a court of law to force Apple to unlock the iPhone. Or even Microsoft was sued by the government for the simple reason that they refused access to the email of the Microsoft. And yet, some of the same communication companies have been harvesting user data themselves and selling it. They advertise, they use your data, they use it for their own internal purpose, and they use it to sell to make money. Do you know that the Facebook enabled encryption on WhatsApp, which is protecting the communication from the prying eyes? But still, it itself could look into any data in the app itself. And when it can look into that app, that forms a part of the dark web. Police cannot see it, you cannot see it, no agency can see it, but they themselves can see it. And in case there is connection with a criminal activity, I'm not saying there is, but in case, then that becomes a part of the dark web. So what's to be done? It's a long way. It's a long way to go before the society, the government, the law enforcement, and the courts settle on the appropriate use of surveillance, both online and offline. Until the government and the law authorities and the courts and the society as a whole has agreed on a common code and a common way, we have to live with the fact that one person's freedom fighting dark web is another criminal's paradise. That's the way I want to describe dark web. A paradise for the criminals, a hell for the innocent people, a haven for the terrorists, a safeguard for the human traffickers, a protection for the drug traffickers, a very safe, protected place for the gun runners, but an awful lot for the people like you and me. This takes away our privacy. This takes away our right to life. This takes place and replaces our normal system. So, this dark web, which it is pervading all over, is something which has to be penetrated, which has to be lightened up, which has to be made penetrable, surveillance by the law authorities, but without in any way undue penetration of normal human beings' privacy. We are at the crossroads. Either we allow the dark web to become more successful, or smash it with a way and lighten it up. Replace the darkness with the light. And that is our salvation. Thank you.